Hello everyone and welcome back to Millicraft and welcome back to the Gray Box. In today's tutorial, we're going to be going over our Golem friends. We now have a brand new Golem for the first time in quite a long time, now in 1.21.10, and I'm excited to go over them. So let's get started on all three of our Golem friends, what you can do with them, how you spawn them in, where you can find them, and what kind of uses they have for you. Let's go! As of Minecraft 1.21.10, we now have 3 golems, and these are 3 mobs that you can actually spawn in yourself by building them in block form out in the open. There is a 4th. That one's dangerous. It takes 3 wither heads and blah, 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 blah. We're not going to be building one of those today because they're not a golem. The first one that we are going to be building is arguably maybe the most useless one. You can build these with either snowballs that you get out in a cold and snowy biome, or with a silk touch shovel or something like that, and grab an entire block out in the wild as well. And it is the snow golem. So the snow golem is built very simply with 2 full snow blocks and a pumpkin that you carve. Ta-da! Now snow golems, when they're not in a creative server like this one, where for some reason I can't change the biome and I'm not sure why, will usually do a snow path around where it goes, and that includes if you put it in a blocked off area. As long as it's a cold biome, it will create these little snow layers that you can actually pick up with a shovel and make snowballs out of, or make these little snow layers, and you can use those over and over and over and build a whole bunch of snow blocks and have it as a reusable resource. So you don't have to have a snowy biome or wait for the snow to fall, as long as you have one of these fellows. Now, in addition to that, these guys like to protect themselves from evil mobs such as zombies. They will throw snowballs at them until either the zombie kills them or they die, either one. It will drop just a few snowballs. However, I've seen in a few different tutorials that you can actually put those snow golems up into like a protected space, and they can shoot at the zombies and any other creatures out and around your base, and as long as they're safe, they can have line of sight and they can still shoot the snowballs. And they've been very useful in some other farms, such as some shulker farms, where the shulkers will shoot at them and then end up shooting each other and then replicating. So snow golems do have a couple of cool uses in that case. But otherwise, they're just either a roaming mob such as this. They can melt in warmer weather, so you want to make sure that in a warmer biome you don't just spawn these in, because they will melt and just disappear on you. In colder climates, they will stick around and make the snow trails. And one thing that people mostly know nowadays is that you can actually shear the pumpkin off of them and to make them look like a very goofy snowman frosty thing. So for the holidays and for the Christmas season, these things are kind of cool for that. The next golem on our list is the only one you can actually find out in the wild, spawned in by itself and actually spawned in by villagers. Now, I've heard that there is very small possibility near a taiga village one of these could spawn in naturally, just because, you know, the taiga village may have had like 2 snow blocks and a pumpkin, and when you're in the area, it could spawn, but very rare, very, very rare. However, the full golem, the iron golem, which is built with arguably way more blocks, and they're far more useful, will be found in a village, and you will get an achievement if you build one yourself. Iron golems are the protectors of a village. They will kind of go towards areas where villagers are located if they can find them. If there is no villagers in an area, they will just kind of roam around your area. You can name tag them. They persist up until the point where they've taken too much damage. They'll drop between like 1 and 5 poppies and 1 and 5 iron ingots when they die. They will protect you from most evil mobs, and they are super strong. If you notice, that zombie had basically no chance against our golem. And even our snow golem was trying to assist. Not very well, but they were trying. Here we go. And as the golem takes more damage over time, you will see that reflect on their skin. So as you notice, he's not nearly as shiny and sharp as he was before. We can actually mitigate that by taking iron ingots and healing them back up by kind of slapping them, right-clicking them with an iron ingot, and healing them back up to normal. Now, the most useful thing for these guys, besides the fact that they can go into farms, just like our little snow golem friend here, they're pretty useful in like slime farms and some other farms where mobs will kind of come and seek them out and will fall down into like pits and such like that. I've seen them in wither farms. I've seen them in slime farms. There's quite a few different kinds of farms that they're good for. But the most useful thing about these fellas is the fact that they can be spawned in by villagers, and you can create an iron farm with them and get lots and lots and lots of poppies and lots of iron. These guys have a couple special things that are Easter eggs. Similar to that guy, there's only one Easter egg really for those guys, is that in the presence of villagers and our next golem friend, they will present a poppy from time to time. Now, that's an old thing from when these were originally created. From the Ghibli movie Castle in the Sky was their original like inspiration, which is why they have all these like greeny flowery things going around on their skin here. They also do not put up with being attacked by the player. So, and you don't want to attack villagers when these things are around, because these are villager protectors. So if I were to womp this guy in survival, he would womp me right back, and they are very, very strong. Fortunately or unfortunately, the ones that you spawn in will not attack you back. They will, like I'm in creative now, but they won't attack me back if I've created them. But the villager created ones will use force if necessary, right, guy? Yeah, right. Our last golem buddy is our brand newest golem buddy, and he might be, depending on your perspective, might be the most useful, might not be. He can be spawned in either with any of the oxidized copper blocks and a pumpkin. Just like with these guys, you always have to have the pumpkin for golems, and they always have to be sheared. Now, what's cool about our copper golem is that he is useful in a way of he likes to organize and he likes to check in his chest. So if we were to put some of these random items that I've got, he is going to go over to the chest that he spawned in with, and he's going to grab an item, and then he's going to look for a chest to put it in, an actual chest somewhere. So if we take and bring in an actual chest and put it down here, he's going to want to sort things into the chest. Now, does he care about zombies? Absolutely not. These other two are the protectors. Apparently that snow golem hit him, so now you can see how fast these golems go. Yeah, this guy doesn't care. He really doesn't care. He just wants to put stuff in chests around, and they will search up to 10 different chests and find a place to put the item that they are holding in one of these chests. So they can be a very useful, and look! I can't believe I got that on camera that fast. So again, these guys like to give their friends poppies. Not us, not the player, but golems and villagers can get a poppy, and if the iron golem likes their little buddy enough, they will actually plant the poppy on their head. Nice job. So while this guy is going, from now on, he will have this little puppy on his head from his friend, the Iron Golem. And again, they will sort one thing into each chest as he goes. So he's going to follow and find another chest. And for an iron sorting, like a sorting system of some sort, you can actually set these all up in advance. So if I knew I needed to have a pumpkin in one, I needed to have some other kinds of items in these chests. So if I take this pumpkin, he will eventually come down and sort that item into this chest because of the fact that it has like items. Or he's going to look for an empty chest to put it in. And unfortunately, he's not going to find that empty chest because there are none. He just put a torch in it. There we go. He'll probably put his torch in there. There he goes. And then he's got the torch. Now, another thing about these golems is they can, of course, be spawned in using any of the different kinds of copper blocks. And they will spawn in with their coinciding color. Now, one thing I have found out is that if you spawn them in with a waxed block versus an unwaxed block, they will unfortunately not be waxed upon spawning in. And I almost feel like that might be a bug. But what you can do to make sure that these guys don't oxidize further than their color that they like, and have this happen to them, is to wax them. So if we take a little bit of honeycomb here, I can wax my friends here, and they will continue to move around all you want. However, once they have reached an oxidized state of this blue color like this, to the point where they freeze. Now, what happened to this guy was he oxidized all the way to the farthest level and then he froze. Now, what's kind of cool about these little golem statues is you can actually make them into other color statues. So if we take a little axe, we can actually scrape him back. And we can get him to the different color levels. And then one more scrape. And it will reactivate our little iron golem buddy again. And then we could wax him again if we wanted to keep him in that state, walking around in that color. Now, the next thing to know about the golem statues is that they're usable as statues from this point on. So once you spawn one in and he's turned into this, you can have him as long as you want in this statue form. But they have different shapes. So you have your standard, like arms to the sides shape. And if you right-click it, he will change into a different setup for the statue. So he has a sitting position, kind of a walking position, and an excited position, and then he'll return to his regular state. And this will be the same for every color that you can have of the 4 colors that they spawn in. At that point, you can also wax them. So you can wax them to make sure that they're not going to turn into a darker color over time, because they will continue to oxidize if you don't wax them. And, you know, at some other point in time, if you want to, you can always unwax them all the way back and get them back to normal. And there you have it, folks. That is our Minecraft golems as of 1.21.10. Hello, friend. Yes, hello. Hi. Do you want to be in the outro? Is that what's going on here? Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this a little bit shorter video, and I still can't believe we got to witness the poppy handoff to our golem friend that fast. It was amazing. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you're having a fantastic holiday season. This video is a little bit shorter today just because of the fact that it's the holidays. I needed to get a video out, and somebody suggested in my chat one day that I should do a video about golems, and I agree. They are a lot of fun. They put a lot of life into your builds. There are a ton of different things that you can do with these. I will let you seek those videos out. I just wanted to go over how to spawn them in and how to put them in your world and some things that you can use them for. Give yourselves a hug from me. Love y'all very, very much, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone. You are a treasure. Yes, you and your little poppy head. You were very nice to them. You were. So good. I can't wait to put these into my actual build somewhere.